morning. My name is Eddie Santos, region owner of REMAX Philippines. And I've been a practicing broker for the last 20 years. And I own the master franchise for REMAX Philippines. The real estate landscape will definitely change after the GCQ. We have to adapt to the new normal by following social distancing, proper hygiene, and being more health conscious. Once the GCQ starts, we at REMAX have formulated some guidelines which we disseminated to our agents and offices on how to do showings of houses and other properties. So this would be bringing alcohol, wearing gloves, maintaining social distancing, doing proper appointments. No surprise appointments shall be made. Everything will be done with proper notice. And we will also have rely heavily on computer technology. There's a time where we adapt the use of technology even more and as we embrace it. Many of our listings will go online. We will do more electronic online meetings such as WhatsApp, Viber, Facebook Live, and Zoom. Also, what would have been a 3 to 4 hour meeting will now be compressed to 1 hour. We've seen this with our Zoom meetings. You know what? The good thing about technology is actually we learn to become more on time. I've had several Zoom meetings the past month, and we pretty much start within a 5-minute window. Unlike before, we'd start 20, 30 minutes later. Hopefully, the government can also assist us. One of the challenges of us brokers is getting certified true copies of documents. It is my sincere hope that the Register of Deeds would probably follow the lead of the NSO, where you just type in a few data, and then you pay online, and in 3 days' time, they send it to us either electronically or they send it to us by courier. So those are the things that will change after GCQ. Well, we'll maintain really the new norm, maintain social distancing, and we'll also be more conscious about our surroundings, about our individuals. When we go on showings, we actually try to maintain a good distance between the buyers and the sellers. When we do contract reviews, everything will be done electronically. We can review contracts online via Zoom or via FaceTime. It's a ever-changing landscape insofar as closing deals are concerned. In terms of processing, we try to limit our exposure with proper government entities, and it's good now. People are more technology savvy, easier to do transactions online. No, viewing is not allowed right now during the GCQ because we're following the stay-at-home policy of the government. As you know, the curve hasn't flattened yet. It actually has been maintaining its numbers. I think the other day it even went up. So this is actually a crucial time right now for everyone. So some of our agents, they actually have electronic photos and digital videos. So they keep themselves busy by actually submitting this to our buyers or to our potential lessees. Especially the June, July, August will be a very busy time for rentals because that's when the international school starts moving in and out. They follow the calendar season of the international schools. We have actually 360-degree tours. With REMAX, we actually prepared for this as far back as 3 years ago. Well, we did not foresee COVID, but what we foresee was the change in the way things are being done. We have virtual tours, 360-degree cameras, but then in the end, what can only happen is just to shortlist a few properties. The client in the end will still have to physically visit the property. There's nothing having a physical presence in viewing the property. Sometimes the they get a feel of how the place looks like. They see if it's bright and sunny, or is it very drab. The only thing you could do, the only thing that can only be accomplished if you do a physical showing of the property or a tripping. So people are asking me, Eddie, um, will the job of real estate agents become obsolete because everything's done online right now? You could do viewings online. You could select properties online. It's true. You could select and you could view things online. But then in the end, the buyer or the renter should still go to the property to physically see if it's suitable for his family, if it is what the photos or the videos say it is to be. There's still a physical showing. So that's the role of the real estate agent. They're there to hold the hands of the clients every step of the way. For first-time property buyers, I actually remember the first time I bought a property. Back then, there was so much excitement. And also there's a little bit of fear behind it. I was young back then and made a lot of mistakes. The developer turned out, that this was in the year 2000. They ran out. They ran out of money. They sold overlapping titles, and it was such a stressful time. In getting a real estate, in purchasing your first property, I actually have three advice that I could give first-time property buyers. These are: the first, to shop around and do your research. There are a lot of very good developments out there, but you have to do your research. Will there be a major road built nearby? Is it near the transportation hub? Is the developer reputable? Are there very good schools around it that would make it very convenient? Is it near my work place? Those are the things you have to take into consideration. And also, do you want a really fantastic dream house, or you just want the right size? Can I afford it? So these are the questions you have to come to mind. The second is you have to bargain, but not bargain too much. I recall a client some years back. She found a very nice property that she wanted. It was very beautiful, beautiful house. Back then, it was priced 10 million pesos. She bargained the price three times. Talagang, she really tried to bring down the price. So three times. On her fourth time, the owner kept on giving in the past three times. On her fourth bargain, she still tried to haggle the last 100,000 pesos. So the owner said, hey, that's it. That's the lowest I could go. No more deal. So the stalemate. And then comes now another buyer buys a property. From that time on, my buyer really regretted not purchasing for 100,000 peso difference because she just haggled too much. It all, she regretted all her life. Fast forward today, that 10 million property she was buying in 2001 is now worth 100 million pesos. So she really regretted that all her life. My third advice is for first-time home buyers is to get the services of a professional real estate agent. This is very important. Many people think that by getting a real estate agent, it is actually expensive. Well, that is be my answer. Hiring unprofessional or an unlicensed agent is even more expensive because you'll have they don't know how to negotiate a deal. They will take a longer time to transfer the title, and they really pretty much don't know what they're talking about. So it's very important that you get a real estate broker who's really very knowledgeable in the transaction. They will get you good deals, and they will help you with all the paperwork down to the transfer of the title and the tax declaration. It's very important to get the services of an agent. Technology is very useful nowadays. It has definitely changed the real estate landscape a lot. When I first began selling real estate in 1997, I started when I was 10. Just kidding. There were just very few cell phones. We were using fax machines and pagers. The internet was still at its infancy. Those are really crazy times, and yet we were able to sell properties. Nowadays, my gosh, wow, you have technology, you have internet, you have cell phone, you have websites, you have virtual tours, you have FaceTime meetings. There are also real estate platforms such as Lamudi, where the buyer or an agent can get a first glimpse of the properties being shown for sale or for lease. These are wonderful times right now, and it makes our job a lot easier. Through technology, you can gather comparable prices for properties in the same neighborhood or area. We can send contracts in a matter of minutes because many of them are on file and we just edit it. That is where Lamudi comes in. We've been partners with Lamudi the past, I think, 4 or 5 years. It's actually early days of the existence in the rental and sale properties. Today, we also have virtual 360-degree view of properties, giving buyers an idea of how the property looks like, most especially if there is a tenant. Because the tenant, they don't want to show the property because their privacy is being invaded. So as agents, we actually fight with the tenants. And then in the end, when we bring the client to the house of tenant, they within 20 seconds, they said, oh no, I prefer a bigger house, or I prefer a house near the school. So imagine all that relationship, is was strained because we had limited opportunities. So now with technology, we can take pictures, we can take photographs, videos, and send it to our clients through our mobile phones. In purchasing a property, a real estate agent will be your best friend. They will guide you through the intricate process of selecting the house or the property you want. By maintaining social distance, a real estate agent will also help bridge the gap for you. We're pretty much labeled as two things. One is the problem solver. We first iron out the problems behind the property. Are there issues? Are there, fighting siblings who own the property? Or is the property title clean? Does it have a bank loan? I've had transactions which require a lot of my powers to make a deal a reality, such as getting floor plans for old buildings, getting the tenant to leave the property in clean and tenable condition, challenges such as offering property management services, ensuring that the paperwork are in order. So these are the things we pretty much act as a problem solver. The second, your real estate agent will be a trusted financial advisor. We are trusted financial advisors more than just being a real estate agent. One of the most expensive purchases a person will make in their lifetime is buying real estate property. It is more expensive than buying an insurance plan, more expensive than buying a Rolex watch, a nice car, or beautiful jewelry. All things, mas mahal ang value ng real estate. The good thing about real estate is that you will forever have it. The land is precious commodity that you own. It will withstand fires, earthquakes, and even other calamities. If your house is destroyed by an earthquake, you can still rebuild because the land is more valuable than the physical house. If you own a condo and the whole condo burns down, the members of the homeowners association collectively still own the property. So they could either jointly decide to sell the property or find a developer who will even build a more modern building or a taller building. So you will forever have the land. I remember some of my clients when was that? 1991. I was back in college back then. So in 1991, what happened was Pinatubo erupted. So what happened? All their land full of lahar and volcanic ash. Fast forward today, look at Pampanga. It's one of the fastest growing communities right now. Many of the landowners sold, a few others held on, and a few others still bought. So those who really took a risk and bought, the investment at times 1,000 already, I think, but has grown exponentially. So those are the advice you could give as a real estate agent. Oh, this is a very good question. One of the things we impart among our agents at REMAX as well as to our clients is financial literacy, and to teach them how to make their money work for them also. Many of us are in the 30 to 45 age range, and the challenge of having a young group of agents with me, when they earn good money, the next day, they splurge, or they actually go on a 1-month vacation, grand vacation. So we try to teach them financial literacy. We teach them on how to make their money work for them. The reality is, when we get old, we're not as mobile as we are today, or as hardworking as in our youth. This is a time when we work hard for a living, and the excess savings, we encourage them to invest it in income generating properties. Now, I will be more biased investing in properties that are rentable compared to raw land. Because in income generating properties, such as condos or houses, you get monthly income. So this is what I mean when having your money work for you. In fact, I would suggest buying a property if you could afford it every 5 to 8 years. That should be the goal. When you reach a retirement age of about 65 or 70, you would probably have 7 to 10 rental properties. Never mind if it's just a studio or a small house or a one bedroom. The point is, in your retirement years, you have about 7 to 10 of these. You will not have to worry about retirement or medical expenses because you get good income coming from these properties. In case you need money in maintaining your health, let's say you have an operation or you have a lingering illness, just sell one of these properties. So it pretty much takes the place of an insurance policy because the value of properties, just like insurance, it goes higher and higher through the years. Furthermore, it is a legacy. You might ask, Eddie, what do you mean by legacy? Properties will be there forever, as I've mentioned. You can pass it on to your heirs, to your kids, or to your loved ones. During times of financial need, your real estate will be there to help rescue you when you need it most. Let me tell you a story of one of my clients who was very much affected during the Asian crisis. He had made good prior to 1997, acquired a lot of properties. But he got hit heavily during the Asian crisis because he had dollar denominated loans. He sold four big properties of his and managed his cash flow prudently in 2000, I think 2002. That was about 2002. From 2002 to 2015, he rebuilt back his business, and he was able to buy properties that were even bigger than the properties that he lost. Today he's one of the 50 richest men in the Philippines because of real estate and because he managed his funds prudently and correctly. Specifically, right now, some of the insurance companies are quite fragile, and when you apply for a medical claim or a health claim, they will tell you, "Oh, but this is not covered. This is not within our policy," or we change some of the coverage that they're not entitled. With real estate, you sell it, and if you have a good windfall of cash, you could now help defray your expenses and medical and if you need a medical operation, you could use those funds. Now, Eddie, what happens if you're a blessed man with good health in your golden years and you don't need to sell you don't need this income anymore? Well, that's a good thing about real estate. If I would have 5 or 7 properties in my golden years, what I would do, I would probably sell one and enjoy traveling the world with my future grandchildren. I've had this policy: work hard, party hard. One of the things I've been told last January, this was before the COVID, by clients of mine, "Hey, Eddie, I really want to buy property. I'm a first-time buyer, but I want to buy a house or a condo. Where do I begin?" Can you imagine buying a property and it's been going up year after year the past 20 years. If you want to buy a brand new one-bedroom condominium in Makati, it would cost you about 7 to 8 million for a 45 square meter. There's some opportunities right now for prices to be given at a discount. For those wanting to buy properties, this is once in a blue moon for you guys to buy. Now, I'm not telling you to start buying tomorrow. The price will probably stabilize in a few months once we get a clearer picture on how the COVID vaccine would start coming into production. The Philippines is also busy with their build project prior to the ECQ. So I'm very excited about this because they've been building road networks all around. One of the most noted projects that they had is Akala X, or the Cavite Laguna Expressway, that has cut travel time from about 2 hours to about 45 minutes. Over the next several months, more and more projects like this will be finished throughout the country, and it will benefit for all of us because commerce expands onto the countryside. This is a good thing because the government infrastructure, that's what we lack right now. So the government's addressing it right now. Also for agents, what are the opportunities for real estate agents? The median age of the Filipino people, it's very young. We're about 24 years old, the median age. We're blessed with a very young population, and this would translate to a healthy supply of manpower to propel our economy. For countries like Japan and Italy, they're actually worried because they have an aging population. But with us, we're blessed with a young population. Many of the citizens in other countries are growing old. Now, what does it mean to have a young population? This means many of the 24-year-olds will begin buying real estate properties as they begin to have their financial affairs in order. 24, 25, 26. By the time they reach 30, they'll start buying their first small condo or a small one bedroom. The yuppies, the singles, those plan to get married, and even the double income workers, those who are working two jobs. This is actually the future of real estate. So I'm excited about this because people might think, hey, wala na tayong negosyo, wala na tayong mabebenta. That's wrong. Marami pang negosyo, marami pang mabebenta tayo in the next 2 to 10 years and even beyond our lifetime. Well, of late, we've been seeing more and more interest in the countryside. So these are Laguna, Pampanga, uh, the fringes of Quezon City. There's a lot of activity there right now. Before kasi Filipinos tend to stay with their mom and dad when they're 30, when they're 35, or until they get married. But nowadays, kids, they want to be more independent. They actually want to be living with their barcadas so more and more people are actually sharing. More young ones are sharing their resources in order to rent a one bedroom or a two bedroom, and then they live life more independently, which is actually good because it actually teaches them more about managing their finances correctly. It teaches them to become more independent, and also it teaches them to become more frugal because if you live alone, it's very expensive. It's very expensive to maintain the day-to-day expenses. So in a way, it's actually good. That's a trend we're seeing right now. Real estate is a key driver of the economy. For those worrying about their investment, let me tell you this. You will be able to weather all these because the Philippine economy will be able to bounce back a little faster than our Asian neighbors. The credit rating agency prior to the COVID lockdown has awarded the Philippines a BBB plus rating, so triple B plus rating. This pretty much is a report card on how well the economy is managed. The Philippines was nearly bankrupt during the time of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. She imposed a very unpopular 12% VAT, which became, a bitter pill for all of us to swallow. Today, as popular as it was back then, the 12% VAT went a long way and has now benefited the presidency of Rodrigo Duterte. Aside from this, because of the savings of government, they're now able to give the social amelioration program, the 8,000 benefit to the common working people. Now, aside from this, one thing you have to know, the Philippines actually has secret wealth. We have our all-time high, $87 billion in international reserves. So 87 billion, the highest ever in Philippines, nakatago yan. Those are international reserves that we have saved for a rainy day. There are two insights I wish to impart. Developers should, I'm calling on developers, they should actually delay depositing the post-dated checks of buyers. I've had experiences wherein a developer who sold pre-sale residential lots 3 years ago. They promised delivery this year. So what happens with the lockdown? So of course, understandably, it will be delayed for delivery to next year. So that's okay, no problem there. But the challenge is the checks keeps on getting deposited month after month after month. I hope the government, the developers will be considerate, during this time of COVID and put a moratorium on payment because many of them made good money the past 10 years, 20 years that they've been enjoying this real estate boom. Another insight, I wish to propose that the government um, award first-time home buyers, those who are buying properties for the very first time, an opportunity to buy a house and lot with a low mortgage rate of about 2 to 3% for first time. For second, no problem. They could peg it at a higher rate at the usual 5 to 8% rate now. But for first-time home buyers, sana, they could give everyone the opportunity to buy a home and by giving them a loan of about 3% per annum. We at REMAX have always been there for our consumers. Since 1973, the company has established more than 130,000 agents spread across 8,000 offices in 110 countries. There are actually two ways you can join REMAX. The first is you could be a real estate agent. We will train you. And the second, if you want to purchase a franchise, we help set up your brokerage business. We help you establish an office and open a whole new network of opportunities of agents, buyers, and investors into your office. Filipinos here within the REMAX organization have consistently ranked among the top 100 agents of the world in terms of commissions that has been earned the last 8 years. This is a shining testimony to the wonderful work that we give where our client is king. Lastly, let us all continue to promote the time-honored bayanihan system. Let's continue to help one another and continue to spread kindness into this world. There's a saying, we make a living by what we earn, we make a life by what we give. In this day and age of COVID, this is a time to help one another. Between money and life, you should choose life, of course. And remember this, all these shall come to pass. The best days of our years of our life are still ahead of us. God bless everyone.